and welcome to this flight review of Frontier Airlines flying from Cleveland to Orlando. $20 flight. I took advantage of the $20 Black Friday sale. Gonna head down to Orlando and do some spotting. First time I've ever flown Frontier, so kind of get a little bit of an idea of what it's like to fly on one of the largest low-cost carriers. The first thing that surprised me right away was I actually had a pretty decent amount of leg space. I'm not super tall, I'm about 5'9", but plenty of room. Frontier does keep an onboard menu in the back of each seat, so you can take a look to see what you might want to buy. Low-cost carrier, nothing is free, no free drinks, no free snacks. Prices are a little high for soft drinks, snacks, and things like that on the flight. So if you do want to take a ride on Frontier, make sure you have your credit card ready to go and know that you will have to pay for drinks and snacks, or bring your own. I highly recommend always bringing your own from the airport. Something that I really like about Frontier are the animal tales, and in the back of the menu they talk a little bit about the different animals that they feature on their aircraft, as well as mentioning some endangered species around the world. Typically I like to book the window seat on my flights, but we had a lot of clouds on this trip, so unfortunately it was kind of hard to see on the ground. Really from the point we got to West Virginia to Florida, it was pretty cloudy. One thing on this A320 that's similar to the Southwest 737 MAX I flew in last year are the small tray tables. They do have a place where you can put like utensils and things like that, but there's nothing for holding cups and to keep them from falling over. Overall, in both flights that I took, I feel like the flight attendants were super friendly, super helpful. Yeah, the flight crews are great up front as well. So really well engaged crews on board this flight. Happy to see that. Something to be aware of if you're going to fly on Frontier, there is no Wi-Fi, so make sure that you have whatever entertainment you want to listen to or play on your phone. Make sure you have those downloaded before you go on, because you will not be able to purchase or use Wi-Fi of any kind on board these airplanes. Another note about the flight crew. On my flight up from Orlando, there were dogs on board that were barking and howling, and unfortunately a couple of passengers complained about it. The flight attendants actually removed that passenger from the flight. This is before we took off, and it put them on another flight. I'm not sure if that really solved the problem or if it's just going to create a problem for another flight. But I do want to say kudos to the Frontier flight attendants trying to handle that situation, trying to make the flight as comfortable as they can for everyone else. But I really do hope that they took care of the passenger who was removed from the flight. I will say, taking this flight from Cleveland to Orlando, you see a lot of really cool things on the ground. Unfortunately, we had a lot of clouds, but Walt Disney World out in the distance, I could see Kennedy Space Center, Daytona International Speedway, the Smoky Mountains, a number of things we could see from the air, which was pretty cool. So what did Frontier do really well on this flight? Well, number one, friendly, very professional flight crews. Flight attendants did a great job taking care of the passengers. Plenty of legroom. I never once felt cramped on this airplane, which is something I can't always say about the 737 fleet with Southwest or United. It's a newer fleet. This airplane is only 7 years old. They have a ton of A320s in the fleet and on order. The app was very easy to use, and come on, I got down here for $20. It was about 70 after fees, but still, to come to Orlando and back for $70, you cannot complain about that one. And some of the drawbacks I have to say about this flight, number one, fees, baggage, change your seat, anything, you will have to pay a fee. The boarding process, they do assign groups 2 through 4, but I think everyone just kind of lined up, so it didn't really matter. The seats certainly are not the most comfortable. They are spacious, but they're not super comfortable. Nothing is free, no free drinks, no free Wi-Fi, no free food, and no Wi-Fi, especially in today's day and age. Frontier is talking about maybe going to Europe in the future. I do think that Wi-Fi is something that they need to put onto these airplanes, especially for the longer flights, especially with kids. I know it is a low-cost carrier, but I just think that adding about $5, $10 to the ticket just to have Wi-Fi would be very beneficial, especially on the longer trips. Would I do it again though? Absolutely. A great flight, $20 to Orlando and back, about 70 after the taxes and fees. Really can't beat it. So I just want to thank everyone on Frontier for the great flight. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.